Welcome to Unshakable with Human Design, the show dedicated to helping entrepreneurs use human design to shift from hustle to flow without sacrificing results. Come here to become an unshakable human and build an unshakable business according to your human design. I'm your host, Nicole. Hello and welcome to Unshakable with Human Design, everybody. I'm your host, Nicole, and we are continuing this train, this little ride that we're taking through the hexagram, all the way through all 12 human design profiles. I'm so excited about this. We are cooking now. We are on episode 8 of 12. We have made it through all of the personal destiny profiles and on our little journey from personal destiny through to transpersonal. Today, on today's episode, we're going to take a little pit stop in the juxtaposition land. We are in a juxtaposition profile, which means fixed fate. So we had the right angle crosses that were part of personal destinies. And then we have transpersonal destinies, the left angle crosses that are to come. Those will be next. And those are about other people. Transpersonal destiny, it's not just about you and your process. It's going to be about externalizing and universalizing and putting things out there. But before we get there, we have this one profile, this one little rare profile that comes in the middle. And we have this little stop here in juxtaposition land where it's about a fixed fate. It moves in a straight line. These people are on a track. They are on a track from the time they are born, and they cannot be moved from it. Everything in their life will feel pretty off if they do. And that's not to scare anybody. It's just, I think that if there's a message to the 4 1s, it's to trust yourself. To trust when something feels off, when something feels not right, when you feel like you're getting pushed into somebody else's story. That's not how it works for you. And that can sometimes be hard because they're 4s and they want to be nice to people and they want to have community and they want to have a relationship and they want all these things because it's part of who they are too. But they got to shut the door for some people and go, yeah, but it's kind of like you're part of my story. I'm not really, this is my movie and it's not yours. You are a character in my movie. I am not meant to go on your ride. You're on my ride. And that, I get where that would feel like a pretty maybe challenging message to have to deliver or something to stand in. And I think it takes a lot of courage and they have to trust themselves a whole lot. So I'm excited to talk about this one because they are rare, but I think they're fascinating creatures. I don't know lots of them because they are 2% of the population. They are few and far between. I know some. I've met lots, but I think I know 3 of them personally that I know where I'd say I know that person pretty well. And like I said, they're fascinating, lovely human beings. And I think that they have an interesting perspective on life and they can be very insightful. And they have very particular destiny that is very individual to them. So before we get started, I want to call out a couple of things. We have our contest going on. If you would like to come onto this show, sit with me. I run your chart. We do a little human design reading or a coaching session or whatever you want to do. You can ask me anything that you want about human design. Do it right here on the show so you get to promote yourself, promote your business, whatever it is that you're doing. If you would like to do that, all you have to do to be entered into this contest that we're running is say that you love the show. Put it on your Instagram. Take a little screenshot of yourself listening to this right now and tag me. I'm at Nicole Official. Say what you love about the show, about the profile series, about the episode, whatever it is. And that's it. That's all you have to do. You're entered. And then we'll let you know if you win. We're going to let everybody know there will be one winner. They will be announced after this profile series is over. So you have until then to enter as many times as you like. You can enter as much as once a day if you want until then. If you're like, I really want that reading for free, then that's all you have to do. Share away. Okay. Then the next thing, we have one other thing that's very exciting. We have a new course that we have created. And I know it's like, who needs another course? But actually, you do, because so many people are intellectualizing their human design. And so many people come in here and they're looking to try to weave human design into their business. They're trying to figure out, how do you put these 2 things together? How do we put strategy and content and things like that? How do I marry my magic with my marketing? And that's why we created this. I wanted to give you a taste, and I wanted to do it without it being this huge investment. So I created this specifically for people who are like, I want to dip my foot in the water, but I want it to feel like I did so for free. So that's what we created. It is not free, but it is as close to free as I could possibly come. It is so stupid cheap for what it is. I'm kind of blown away that we're offering it for this. But it is called Content by Design. We go into type and profile. We have lessons in there. We go into what human design is. I kind of break down how to like look at the chart, how I look at it, and how, from this content perspective, why these things are important and how to interpret them and understand them. We go into type, content by profile, and then we have lessons on that. And then we have workbooks that we've created for you that are extensive so that you can integrate what you learned and implement what you learned, all for under $50. So super crazy cheap. If you want to get into action around your design, I highly recommend picking it up. All you have to do that is DM me the word content on Instagram, and we'll send you the link for that. All right. So let's dive in. The 4-1, the Opportunist Investigator. I love this. Like I said, they have a fixed fate. So I always say that we are being pulled on the path of our purpose. If we were to get out of the way, if we were to wake up, if we were born and we were to, look mom, no hands through life and just follow our strategy and authority, never get in our heads about whether we should go this way or that way. We followed our intuition. We followed our body. We followed our authority. We would be pulled to our purpose and it would emerge for us. Most of us are not doing that. We get in the way. We think we need this thing. We have this goal. We get our mind in the way and suddenly we're off track. Now, even if we were all doing it right, as we're getting pulled on the path of our purpose, if you're a right angle cross, there's going to be things you're doing that kind of like they're twists and turns and different things that are going to happen that are going to influence the path that you're on. And if you're transpersonal like me, if you're a 5-1, 5-2, 6-2, 6-3, if you're transpersonal, then other people, karma that you have with other people is going to influence that. My dog is making an appearance in this episode, I see. So you're going to have other people. If you are transpersonal, you are going to have other people influence your path. You're going to meet somebody and it's going to push you on the path there. So now if you are a personal destiny, even if you were following strategy and authority and you were doing it all perfectly and you were being pulled on the path of your purpose, the way that path unfolds, you're going to do something, you're going to incorporate something or encounter something, and that might influence how that path moves. It's not going to be a straight line that you move in, but it's going to be your moves and your interests and your thing and your trial and error process that's kind of determining those twists and turns that your path takes. And if you're transpersonal, like me, you're a 5-1, a 5-2, a 6-2, or a 6-3, then it's going to be other people that you need to kind of bump you along your path for that pinball to hit the right areas. That's what I always picture with a transpersonal profile, is that you encounter other people because we have karma with other people. So it's important for us to interact with the right people so that influences our path, so that we get bumped toward our purpose. That's how we find our way, right? That's not how it works for the juxtaposition, the fixed fate. They are moving in a straight line. It's very fixed and they know it. The 4-1s I know, they know this. They are very much, it doesn't mean that they are necessarily doing the same things and everything looks like it makes sense. I don't mean to make it sound like that, but they are so committed to their path. They are so sure of it, typically, that if they are in alignment, they're like, no, this is the way for me. This is the way for me. This is the way for me. And when they get off their path, they really feel that. They can really feel when something isn't right. And well, how do they end up in a place where things aren't right? Well, usually it's because somebody came into their life and influenced them to change something. And they thought, sure, why not? That's the first mistake usually. And that can quickly or not so quickly get corrected depending on the person. But the faster that they stand up for themselves and either reclaim their path, or what can be really hard for the 4 is to end the relationship that maybe they feel very connected to, that maybe they've invested a lot in, and that 4 line wants those connections. So they have to break that. That can be really difficult for them, for some of them. I don't mean to make it sound like everybody has to be this way, but these are themes that often come up with these people. No one can get in the way of their path is really the most important thing. So they really do have to commit to themselves above all others. And I think that that's where the 4-line piece can sometimes have some trouble. The 1 typically doesn't have a problem with committing to itself unless it's scared, which is really what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with a 1-line unconscious, right? So 4 is the personality number. This is what's leading the cross as the 4, right? And the 4 is transpersonal. The 4 is externalizing. The 4 isn't about its own thing. It's about other people. It's about connections and making those connections and building that network like a web. And the more intricate that web is, the more rich their life is and the more success they have. That's just what we see. But the ability to truly be successful, we're talking about business here. So to be a successful and profitable 4-1, you got to look at that 1. You have to nurture that 1. If there's no expertise, if there's no authority, if there's nothing that you've really dug into deeply that you can stand on, then there's nothing to spread through that web. And that's really what you're here to do. You are here to go deep with something with that 1, whatever that may be. And that's about you and what interests you. Now, is that going to be based on, if you're a projector, it's going to be what you're recognized for. You want to pay attention to kind of what people see in you or what you recognize yourself for when you're with other people. But if you're a generator, it's going to be different. It's going to be your interests that's driving you to what you want to investigate further. Doesn't mean that projectors don't have interest. It's just they're looking for their wisdom. They're looking for what they perceive. They're looking for something that's a little bit different to find their talent. Then a generator's just like, I like it. I'm going to do it. Yay, good, you're on your track. A projector is going to need some feedback, either for them to witness or for people to tell them, to recognize in them. Because that's what we're trying to find is, well, what are you going to be recognized for? Because what you're recognized for is probably what you'll be profitable doing, which if you're profitable, if you're successful as a projector, then you're on the right track. You're on your path. So this is the balance of that one is sometimes the 4 can be out there. And here's one thing. I don't think that they can go terribly wrong with this because a lot of times 4s, if you're building a network, even before you have that expertise really deeply dug in, if you're a 4-line personality, then that's okay. As long as you're keeping that network and nurturing that network. The trap is you try to sell to that network something that you haven't really fully mastered or that is half-baked, and then you might destroy your reputation within that network. So that's where we want to be careful. So they have to dare to move from novice to master, from insecure to authority, to really step into that, and then nurturing that network. But it's about them. It's their process. So they're very interesting beings. And I should say also that this line, it's like, because it's such a fixed fate, the Incarnation cross plays kind of an outsized role, even though it's already 70% of the chart. It plays sort of an outsized role for them, simply because that fixed fate, it's pulling them to that purpose. So their sun and earth gates, particularly on the personality side, because that's what's driving this profile, are going to be incredibly important for this person to help understand that for them. What is their thing? What is their purpose? The cross tells them so much, particularly those sun and earth gates on the personality side. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you're a 4-1, let me know because I love seeing 4-1s pop up in my community. I love seeing how many of you are, even though you're a rare bird in the mix. There are quite a few of you, just like I see so many reflectors. I nowhere near as many as I see generators, but I love seeing them pop up in our community because you add flavor. And I love hearing from you. So I'd love to know what your experience is with this. If you're a 4-1, DM me and let me know. Did we hit the mark? Is there some insight that you want to impart to me? Because I am all ears. I would love to hear from you. Some famous 4-1s, I like to add these to every single episode. Andrew Lloyd Webber, Barbara Walters, and Buzz Aldrin are all 4-1s. Again, we don't have as many to choose from because this is a rare profile. Like I said, 2% of the population, that's all they are. So those are 3. that give us an idea. I think Barbara Walters, I think you get that. Andrew Lloyd Webber, there's like singular focus about these people, right? They're just so laser focused on their thing, and they seem a little bit unbending. That's the 4-1. But think about Barbara Walters. It's all relationships. It's all connections, her entire world. So she managed to master that whilst remaining true to herself. I do this thing. This is my thing. This is my lane, and I own it. Okay, so I hope you love this. Enter the contest. I love seeing those entries, and I would love to see you win, so we get to sit down and dig into your chart together. Purchase Content by Design if that interests you, if you want to see how you marry marketing with your design. I would love to hear your feedback on that after you try it out. DM me content on Instagram if you would like that. And just thanks for being here. I appreciate you. I hope you join us for the rest of the transpersonal profiles. We're jumping into those next. We've got 4 more left for you. And remember, in order to have an unshakable business, you must first become an unshakable human. So thanks for letting us help you become unshakable with human design, everybody. We'll see you next time. If you love this episode and you're a fan of the show, please show us the love on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you're listening to the show, and leave us a review. And if you'd like to connect with other entrepreneurs on their human design journey, join our free Facebook community, Human Design for Entrepreneurs. Go to NicoleLano.me/podcast links to join the group, book a human design reading with me, or access our free human design resources. We'll see you there.